Hurricane Helene is close to making landfall tonight in the Florida Panhandle.
Conditions deteriorating in the Big Bend region where the Panhandle meets the peninsula.
You see, even before the storm's arrival, the water is coming up and over the seawall, moving into the neighborhoods and threatening homes.
The storm's impact is expected to stretch across several states.
Some areas bracing for up to 20 feet of storm surge. Millions also under a tornado threat.
So our check-ins are sent over to our coach, and now we are currently just awaiting his response for what the game plan is going to be for the day. But in the meantime, we had to make a quick run to the grocery store because Tampa is getting ready to be hit by a pretty nasty hurricane. And I don't know what is up with me and preps and hurricanes, but I feel like this is now like the third hurricane that I'm facing in an actual prep that I've learned now. So I'm a pro, but they run out food pretty quickly. So the goal today is to make sure we get enough food to sustain us for a worst case scenario. And it's definitely looking like it's going to be a pretty nasty one. So fingers crossed, because I know typically around this situations, there's a lot of things running low in grocery stores. Successful grocery trip. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't getting a little nervous. A lot of the updates have been putting people in a little bit of a frenzy going out to the grocery stores. You can kind of see that it was starting to really clear out, but just in time, I got the final few packs of beef, which lasted me a few days, and I stocked up on chicken and then all of the other essentials. And you know, as I'm looking at this fridge, if this doesn't look like a prep bodybuilding fridge, I don't know what else does. But nonetheless, I also at the grocery store picked up something that I've been meaning to try for a very, very long time. And it's something that I don't typically do in a prep setting, but I think it's a nice reward right now. Come on.
You pick?
Which one do you want? You want that
Really?
one? Yeah.
You win. Here.
Jackson.
Oh. That was a bully.
Okay, go play. After 6 consecutive load days, I can't tell you my excitement for seeing this much carbs in just one meal. This one meal damn near doubles my carbs for an entire load day. But we have 100 grams of Quaker oatmeal, 150 grams of ground beef topped with, you heard it right, topped with 15 grams of peanut butter, and then 180 grams of egg whites. And every time I think it's a good idea to buy my dogs dog toys, I always instantly regret it because whenever I go to record a clip, they just start going crazy. But nonetheless, gonna take this meal down. I'm so excited right now. I'm gonna take this meal down, and I do have to get out of here because we do have to head to get some body work done because your boy's been feeling a little tight over the last handful of weeks, and we got to do so before the storm hits because it's starting to come. And just like that, the worst case scenario just took place. The power just went out, and now the craziest part about it all, by the way, is like it's beautiful outside. So the fact that the power went out and the storm hasn't even hit yet, it's kind of crazy. And I was planning to cook all of my foods all together for like my next meal, but here we are. So we're faced with a very shitty situation, and I feel like every single prep I'm faced with some kind of adversity that forces me to think outside the box, that forces me to show how truly bad that I want this. But fuck, man, we have an amazing podcast that we're supposed to shoot in a couple hours, and just with today being a high day, my meal timing has to be on point. Like it has to be, otherwise my digestion will be messed up, bloating will be all over the place. So that's our current situation. So right now we've got to put our brains together and figure out what the hell to do next. So over the last few weeks, I've noticed myself getting a lot tighter and just overall more fatigued. And with that fatigue just came general inability to connect with the muscle like I typically do, whether it's with posing or training. And the old me, I just would have chalked it up to this is how I'm supposed to be feeling in prep. And I really just wouldn't have done much about it. I just would have kind of just let it be. But I didn't want it to be this time around just simply because it's fucking Olympia, man. You know, it's 3 weeks out, and I want to make sure that I do everything in my power to be my best. And I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what it takes. I just want to step off that stage proud, you know? So small investment now that I know is going to pay back dividends later. And this is definitely something I'm going to continue to do in my off season. It's something that I used to do and I definitely started to overlook. So I'm not going to allow that to be the case anymore, because bodywork is everything, man. Just when you are putting your body through this much stress, man, you got to realize your body wears that stress, you know? So internally, physically, and now it's starting to manifest on the outside, right? So I wanted to make sure I clean that up. He's also going to be at the Olympia too, so it's going to be dope having him there to help flush some of the water out, you know, just a couple days prior to the show. Nothing crazy, keep inflammation low. But I can tell you this much, my body is in need of this session right now. Oh my God! As I'm packing my whole entire life to go do my cardio, to go eat all of my meals, to make sure we stay on track, the power comes on. God is good. All right, guys, meal 2, getting ready to go down. So we currently have 150 grams of grilled chicken, 315 grams of white rice, and 100 grams of asparagus. Oh, and 15 grams of peanut butter. I'm telling you guys, peanut butter makes everything taste better. And not to mention, I just found out that there's a thing called squeezable peanut butter. You literally just squeeze it on top of it. Stressless, so much easier, but I'm definitely gonna be taking advantage of peanut butter in my off season. But I figured I haven't really updated you guys much about like the prep, like what's going on right now. So currently this morning I weighed in at 228.2 pounds, I think. And we have been consistently dropping, you know, half a pound, you know, basically every other day. So my body is definitely starting to hit its prime form. If you guys remember, I was literally stressing about how my weight was just stuck at like 240, 241 for 5 weeks. And from that moment, all we did was increase food, decrease cardio, and just give my body a little bit of a break. And that has absolutely changed the game. And I'm so happy that we made that decision, because now things are moving much more efficiently. And the fact that I'm 228, keep in mind, we're like, what, 3 weeks out from the Olympia? And I was 226.8 on the optimum stage when I qualified for the Olympia. Now, obviously there's still conditioning that needs to be brought in. There's still, you know, things that need to happen in order for me to be the best on the Olympia stage, but things are just trending in a good direction right now. And it's cool because I'm actually eating more than I've ever had in a prep. And what I mean by that is my low days are low. Like, they suck. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat that. They look much different than these meals here, but it's a breath of fresh air knowing that we're still figuring my body out to a degree and also not scared to try new things. So my high days are really high right now and my low days are obviously really low. And I might only have one high day a week, but it kind of gives me something to look forward to. And it also keeps my body a little bit more alive, you know? So nonetheless, I'm getting ready to take down this meal. Today has definitely been an eventful one to say the least. I think cortisol is a little higher than what it typically is. So I'm really just trying to find calm, relaxed, turn on some Netflix. I'm watching a new show called Tracker right now. It is phenomenal. Like, I absolutely love it. And I'm just trying to really turn my brain off and just focus on these next 3 weeks to be the best bodybuilder I can on the Olympia stage. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up and now and eat. And you guys will not believe this. As I'm sitting here, just finishing meal 2, the power goes back out. This is such, oh my God. This is so stressful, man. And I was just getting ready to finish my next set of cardio. So I was done for the day. We're not worrying about all of that. All right. Cortisol. All right, guys, so quick little update. Power came back on. So it's basically at this point just Russian roulette. We have no idea what to expect with this storm. And as you guys can see, it's definitely getting darker and darker. So we are currently out walking the dogs, trying to get as many poops out as physically possible before the storm hits. And with today being a high day, which also coincides with a rest day, we want to make sure that we get some added movements. So we are out here walking the dog. And I think the hardest part throughout this entire process, especially with our backyard being renovated, which we usually just let the dogs go out back in the first place. Now we have to take dogs on multiple walks a day just so they can go to the bathroom. And with the storm coming, it's safe to say that they've been out quite often today. The hardest part about this is, like, with me being like so depleted and on prep, the walking responsibilities have basically been up to Megan. So on a high day, we got to get out and get some extra steps. But the pool is making a lot of progress, and I'm really excited about that. And the storm is definitely putting a little bit of delays on some things, but one thing I will say is when this prep is all said and done, you will find my ass in that hot tub, relaxing, turning my brain off, ordering food, just chilling out there, getting fat and happy. But first, we got a Olympia to prepare for and a world to shock. All right, guys, meal 3 going down when we are back like we have never left. One thing I hate about full day of eating is I feel like I'm always sitting in the same spot doing the same thing, and it gets monotonous. So I always try to find ways to make it interesting. So I hope you guys are enjoying the video. If you are, give it a thumbs up. But nonetheless, meal 3, we have 315 grams of white rice, 150 grams of chicken hidden in here somewhere, and 100 grams of asparagus. The asparagus helps more than you guys know because most of my meals are carbless on my non-high days. So having that extra volume definitely helps me immensely. But nonetheless, getting ready to take this meal down. The only difference between this meal and the last meal was simply just removing some fat from the peanut butter. But we have salt packets here, and these are how I like to control my sodium. So I don't put any sauces or seasonings on my food, just simply salt packets. And honestly, you just kind of eliminate that variable because I used to be somebody who fluctuates dramatically up and down. Dang. The prep beard is coming. I'm just growing it out until like the Olympia, so might get it shaped up and all, but you guys are gonna see some wolfing coming along in these next videos. But like I said, I would fluctuate a lot. So one thing I helped to fix that was making sure I'm drinking a minimum of 2 gallons of water per day, which was not easy, by the way. And then again, just controlling my sodium, and that's changed everything. But I gotta hurry up because not only is the storm really kicking up, it's getting me nervous because we have a podcast, a really big podcast in 15 minutes. And I want to make sure I'm prepared for it. And I'm praying that our Wi-Fi and power stays on.
Okay.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to take a quick second to thank you off the bat, man. I know there's a lot going on, obviously a couple weeks out from Yale, but I think this is going to give a lot of people some insight on kind of your mindset going into it, but also just a unique perspective. And as you know, what's cool about kind of the platform that we have right now is we're a lot of athletes who are going through it with a lot of fans who are watching who are also going through it, right? So now getting it from, you know, a champion's mindset as well as, you know, just different perspectives, I think it's going to be really big, man. So we appreciate you. That might have just been the best episode of Men's Physique Radio we have ever recorded. Guys, I cannot wait for you guys to see this one. We had Ryan Terry, our current Men's Physique champion, on the podcast, going over his mindset, going over, you know, his career, and going over a lot of the things, even like retirement, that honestly has given me a lot of insight and a lot of, you know, perspective change. And honestly, right now, with me being, you know, just so close to the Olympia, the fact that it's motivating. Don't get it twisted. I want his job, but he's such a great ambassador for the sport. So I definitely strive to, you know, meet and even surpass his standards for what he's doing right now. But nonetheless, as you can see, it's getting dark. The storm is rolling in, and it is time to cook yet another meal. And we're back at the same spot that I sit 5 different times a day. I love this spot. But like I said, I cannot wait to just not be eating from plastic plates, silverware, and I don't care. I love the food. Like I said, I love the chicken. I love the beef. I love the rice. Just prep puts like goggles on you. You know what I mean? Like it's like your tunnel vision when it comes to prep. And I just am looking forward to the vision kind of opening up a little bit. But nonetheless, meal 4 going down. It's a little bit later than I typically eat it. It's 6:15. I usually eat at 5:30, but the podcast went a little bit longer than expected. So we are here with 150 grams of chicken, 100 grams of asparagus, and 285 rice. So I love high days. I love high days. But as you guys can see, man, my food is very simplistic, right? Like that's, like I said it, I don't really do anything crazy. I don't, you know, put a lot of anything on my food. It's just for efficiency. I enjoy it, so it makes it a lot easier to do this consistently, you know. But like I said, man, the end goal is the goal, and however we can get there in the most efficient manner, even if it's bland, we got to do it. You know, I think a lot of things people do nowadays is to kind of spice up their prep, and I get it, trust me, especially as you're like coming up. But I just found it so much more of a mental relaxation knowing that you're controlling all the small variables. And I think that's something that you kind of adopt as you grow in this sport, because I was that guy who put pounds of sauces, pounds of seasonings, and just basically made chicken and rice not taste like chicken and rice. And now I really enjoy just the simple things. Fried rice, a little bit overcooked chicken, and a lot of it of overcooked asparagus. So I'm gonna take this meal down. Unfortunately, just finished another show. I'm running through these series, guys, so I need your help. Comment below, are there any like really good Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Prime, HBO, anything? Like I have every single one you can think of. Apple TV, there's not one that I don't have. So comment below any really good TV shows. I need them. I need them. I've been finishing shows left and right, and I need something that's going to keep my brain like stimulated. But nonetheless, meal 4 going down.
You are literally seeing water coming up to your home right now, and you I mean, this is about as real as it gets
right now, Dennis. This is wild.
People who are talking
Dangerous.
Jexy's scared.
in those areas. You gotta decide right now.
What just happened?
I got promoted.
She got promoted! Mommy got promoted! All right, what are you, associate director now?
Associate director, so I'm like Erin's sidekick.
You're no one's sidekick, but good job. Mommy got promoted! Woo! 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 So proud. And it's really funny because we were actually just talking about kind of find different ways to level up in our own careers. And we were literally just having this conversation this morning. And just like that, God works in very, very mysterious ways. She got the promotion. And I'm a proud husband. Very proud. You know, I think this is like probably like the hard parts about being on prep, if I'm being honest with you guys, because right now, I would typically drop everything, even though I'm cooking amazing food that I seriously could eat nonstop, and go take her out for a nice dinner. Because you need to celebrate these things in life, man. The little things that then add up to be massive things. I think this is the hardest part about prep for me. It's not the cardio, it's not the dieting. It's like missing out on moments, you know? But I'm proud. I'm so proud.
I thought this was going to be enough for 2 glasses. Then I was going to stop halfway and I was like, oh, there's not a lot left in here. And then it was a lot.
Send it! Retirement cheers.
Retirement?
Oh. Promotion.
Are we retiring today too?
Yeah, I can retire now. You're my sugar mama.
Oh yeah.
And just like that, meal 5 is going down. 150 grams of ground beef, 180 grams of egg whites, and 85 grams of oatmeal. Brain is moving a little slower even with the high carb day today, so please bear with me. But combination that I highly recommend you trying, guys, putting your ground beef in your oatmeal. It sounds weird, but I promise you, and then you put a little bit of peanut butter on it. Don't knock it till you try it. It's an absolute game changer. But total macros on the day. We have 405 grams of carbs, 63 grams of fat, and 329 grams of protein. So definitely higher high days than I've ever had in my life. But it's also truly allowed me to stay fuller throughout this process, which has been a game changer. Over the last few shows I've stepped on stage, I just hasn't been full, right? And now having these high days, I know this is where I can minimally start my load. So when we actually start filling up for a show on that Wednesday, this could be my first meal. You know, this can be my first day, 405 grams of carbs. When before, at the end of prep or going into my final load, I would be like 400 grams of carbs like the day before a show, you know? So now I know I was under eating and underfeeding my body, but nonetheless, this is the thing about bodybuilding. We always learn. Guys, I'm stepping on the Olympia stage. You know, I've been there now twice. I'm still learning, all right? Every year is learning. Like every year my body changes and I'm learning how to peak a new body. So it's just one of those things that, especially as I'm young, as I'm growing, I have to be receptive and understanding all of the things that are going on in terms of the nuances of my body. But nonetheless, I'm getting ready to take this meal down. And it's safe to say today has been eventful, to say the least, with the hurricane, and then very happy, proud of my wife for getting a promotion. Power going off, on, an amazing podcast, and just a lot of moving parts, but still kind of like simple. And that's kind of what prep is for me right now. It's like always a lot of moving parts going on in my life with the businesses, with the social media stuff and life stuff, but it's all kind of like in a environment that I can control, which is everything, controlling your variables. But I'm gonna take this meal down. It is currently 8:15 and it's almost time for bed. And that's the one thing. I've also been going to bed at like 8:30 every single night, which has been amazing. But guys, I want to thank you so much. This prep, it's kind of crazy to think it's almost over, you know? No matter what happens at the Olympia, we got our redemption, you know, but it's more than that now. You know, we want to prove to everybody that we belong. You know, all the craziness that happened last year, you know, made these moments feel so special, made these abilities to suffer, you know, all worth it. And honestly, I just want to prove you guys right. Those of you who support me. So I love you guys. If you can, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you like ring the notification bell thing, because like it's really important when you guys watch the video, like as soon as it comes out apparently. So that would mean a lot. But nonetheless, guys, full day of eating down. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And until then, I'll see you guys in next week's video.